Hello everybody, welcome back into another episode of The Last of Us. This is going to be episode 7, Left Behind. Now, I was wondering if they were going to do the DLC. I knew that, like, from promotional pictures, there's obviously a character that is very present who is in the DLC. Kind of thought that might be a flashback, but I do love that the Left Behind DLC is getting its own episode, largely because it's great to be able to understand Ellie in the way I think this episode is going to provide, but also because personally, I was not emotionally prepared for what I thought this episode might be, which is the bulk of the winter chapter of the game. I'm not emotionally prepared for what winter has to come, so I'm really happy that we're going into Left Behind. Not that Left Behind's any better from an emotional perspective, but I feel like I can handle it a lot better than I'll be able to handle the winter chapter. So let's go ahead and jump straight into Left Behind. She did a really good job of getting them somewhere safe and using the resources that she had, like obviously putting Joel on one of the sleeping bags and dragging it behind the horse. She's very resourceful.
You gotta help me. Come on.
Leave. Leave.
Shut up, Joel.
Take the gun.
Joel, shut the fuck up!
She isn't about to leave you. You know better. Oh, don't tell me he's crying because he thinks she's gonna leave him. I don't like seeing Joel cry. It hurts my soul, man. Oh!
Give it back!
Then pick up your pace. I'm not running doubles again because of your shitty attitude.
Punch her in the face. There you go. That's my kid. Don't condone violence. Unless it's Ellie, then I condone violence. Oh, you got a black eye. That's okay. Unless she doesn't look worse than you, then I'm just sad.
Bethany started it.
Well, Bethany's in the infirmary with 15 stitches.
Good.
Okay, you won. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You keep acting like a grunt so you get the life of a grunt. Up at dawn, walk the streets, walk the wall. You eat shit food, you do shit jobs, and that'll be your life from now until you catch a bullet from a firefly or fall drunk off a roof or get your hair caught in a moving tank tread.
Oh, who'd that happen
There's the
to?
other path. You swallow this pride of yours. You follow the rules, you become an officer.
Did his keychain have the Naughty Dog logo on it? The little paw?
You get to tell the Bethanys of the world exactly where to shove it.
I like this guy. He's trying to guide her the best that he can and really just like, if you really want to win, you got to move up.
Is that it?
That's it.
I like this guy.
Can I have my Walkman back?
Aw, the Triceratops. No pun intended, Savage Starlight. Got all her favorite things in one room. Where's the space reference? Mortal Kombat 2! I think the Mortal Kombat references are one of my favorite things so far because in the game there are references to Mortal Kombat, but for legal reasons they had to call it something else that I don't remember. But because it's an HBO show now, HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has the right to Mortal Kombat. They can make Mortal Kombat references.
Ow. Riley, where have you been? What the fuck is wrong with you sneaking up on me like that?
It was a joke, okay? I thought it would work better.
Oh, Riley. That's not a joke. You should never sneak up on your friends in the middle of the night.
I joined the Fireflies.
Oh, fuck
There
you.
it is.
I'm not in the mood for this, Riley. I'm really not in the mood.
You could have just showed her the Firefly pendant. You didn't have to show her the gun.
Come with me for a few hours and have the best night of your life.
I don't know. Should I trust you?
Of course you should, with your life.
They have a great dynamic. The banter is really good.
Oh, Firefly lights are better.
The game mechanic of having to shake the light. I love that. There's something so traumatizing about being in like a dark enclosed space and your flashlight starts turning off.
Oh, shit. Is he dead?
Yeah.
No, he's taking a nap with his eyes open.
This isn't moonshine either. It's like from before.
Oh.
This guy must have spent every card he had to get this.
No one told him he couldn't mix pills with that shit.
I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think that's intentional. Oh, there he goes. You get to keep the bottle, though.
So what happened? You started dating some Firefly dude and was like, ah, it's cool. I think I'll be a terrorist.
Yep, that's it.
We're getting married.
But really, why?
One night, you were in the hole. I got bored, so I snuck out. And this chick popped out of nowhere. She said she was impressed watching me sneak around, avoiding guards. And she asked what I thought about FEDRA. So I told her the truth. They're fascist dickbags, and they're the ones that should be getting hanged for their crimes. She's like, all right, if you want in, you're in.
That is pretty simple recruiting, though. Somehow it's even more speedy than joining the army, and I didn't think that was possible.
Ah, so FEDRA's not entirely bad.
Fascist dickbags, starving their own population.
Fireflies blowing up the storage depot didn't help.
Propaganda bullshit.
Yeah? So you don't bomb stuff anymore?
Not when civilians are around.
That's propaganda bullshit.
I really enjoy the two sides of the same coin they got going on here. That's got to be crazy to grow up the way they did and see that.
No way.
The escalators.
Electric stairs?
I don't know. I would be afraid of a 20-year-old escalator that's had no maintenance. I would take the stairs. No, you're not catching me on that Final Destination shit. Dawn of the Wolf Part 2. I love that they slipped the poster in there.
My mom said when the outbreak happened, people started looting until the military shut it down. So the stuff that's gone is the stuff that people needed the most, or wanted, I guess.
Right, so sneakers and not soap.
That's a very human thing to do, though, when the world goes to hell and you don't rationalize that this is how the world is gonna be now. So you're like, let me steal all the stuff I want because the world will go back to normal. So I'm not gonna steal the stuff that I'm gonna need.
Open your eyes.
The merry-go-round. I'm surprised some of these things still work. Like, you would think the batteries would be corroded. Like, I know they're plugged into something, but you would still think the power source would be messed up. Oh, they're just kids trying to have a good time.
You need help?
No.
Did you really leave because you actually think you could liberate this place?
Don't say it like it's some type of fantasy, Ellie. They've done it in the other QZs.
The other QZs aren't doing that well, babes.
You know, you're the one thing I miss from that fucking place. If that makes a difference.
It does.
No.
I'm just surprised all the bits and bobs of these different machines still work.
Oh, shit. What should we do? Riley.
Now, I know for a fact most of those should be broken because most arcades don't even have working equipment right now. You got a handful of good machines that constantly need maintenance.
Dude.
Yeah.
The Mortal Kombat. There we
ready?
go.
Yeah. Wait, how do I play? Smash the buttons. There's so many of them.
Yep, just button smash. It's so dark down there. Oh, the doll store. Yep. I think you can find a note from this runner guy in the game.
Oh, come on. Next thing.
My awkward little babies.
Oh, here we go. What do you call an alligator in a vest?
to kill soldiers. You recruit guarding their stash.
We would never use them on you or anywhere ever near you. I would never let them do that.
You would never let them?
You don't have a
Right, and you
choice.
think they're gonna listen to you?
Oh, they're just two kids dealing with problems that are too big for them.
Ellie, I'm leaving. They're sending me to a post in the Atlantic QC. Tonight's my last night in Boston, and I wanted to say goodbye. This isn't easy, Ellie.
It actually is. You just did it.
Oh.
Riley! What the fuck?
Oh, the Halloween store.
You don't know what it was like to have a family, to belong, and I want that again. Maybe the Fireflies aren't what I think they are, but they chose me. I matter to them.
Do you, though? Because at the end of the day, you're a soldier. You're cannon fodder.
Are you sure about this? About leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. You're my best friend. And I'll miss you. What am I supposed to do with this?
Put it on.
Put it on, stupid.
Oh, the awkward mask. I kind of love it, though.
Don't go. Okay.
My little babies.
Get ready to run.
Babes, did they not teach you to shoot better? You had it on the ground. Thank you.
No, 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 no! No!
Knew it was coming again. Didn't make it hurt any less. Oh, the difference between rage and acceptance.
The way I see it, we got two options. One, we take the easy way out. Option two, we just keep going. Whether it's 2 minutes or 2 days, we don't give that up. We can just be all poetic and shit and lose our minds together.
Yeah, knowing it's gonna happen doesn't make it hurt any less. Got some you can work with. It's probably gonna be really messy stitching, but you got some you can work with. She ain't leaving you. You still got some of that whiskey? You can use that as a disinfectant. Doing the best she can. Ah, and that's the end. So that was the Left Behind episode. Now, in all honesty, I don't remember the Left Behind DLC that well because I only played it once out of the many times that I've played The Last of Us Part 1. But it does a really good job of establishing Ellie as someone who has known loss in her life. Because there she is with her best friend, potential love interest, Riley. They get bit at the exact same time. There's that understanding that we're just going to go insane together. Like, we're going to wait it out, spend as much time as we possibly can together before we eventually lose our minds. And that will be the end of that. And obviously Riley succumbed to the infection because she is not immune the way Ellie is, and Ellie had to watch that happen, thinking that the same was going to happen to her, or if anything, waiting for it to happen. And there probably was a moment where that's all Ellie would have wanted, was to turn at the same time as Riley and to be with her in that sense. But it just never worked out in that way for her, and that trauma stays with her for the rest of her life. And it really does help give some depth to Ellie when she does tell Joel, I've experienced loss too, you're not the only one. So I do really love the DLC, despite only playing it once, and I think the actors did a phenomenal job. I really did enjoy the actress that played Riley. It's so great to see Ellie just have a good time and be a kid, but this episode was also heavy in the fact that these kids are in an environment where they are expected to be soldiers, and they're fed a lot of information from varying sides that you're obviously, some of it's not true because propaganda on both sides see each other as evil. So it's really nice to see kind of the two sides of the same coin, with Ellie being raised with FEDRA, knowing she's going to become a FEDRA officer, and in some ways not looking forward to it, but knowing that that is her path and that's kind of what's been decided for her, and she's accepted that. Whereas Riley is idealizing the Fireflies in a way that I guess the Fireflies do idealize themselves, because she's being fed these, I wouldn't necessarily call it propaganda, but it probably is a little bit of propaganda. These stories about how well the Fireflies are doing in the other QZs, and that the QZs are being liberated by Fireflies. And while I don't know the story of every QZ that exists in this timeline, the QZs don't normally do too well. If FEDRA isn't an absolute menace and killing and torturing and taking advantage of the citizens, the rebel groups that take over, demolish the city, end up leaving, become just as bad as FEDRA. So there's two sides to this, and I really enjoyed being able to see both of them. But I think most of all, I liked seeing Ellie happy, but there was also like this really bittersweet feeling of enjoying the fact that Ellie was getting to be the kid, but because I played the game knowing that it wasn't going to pan out. And I think for a lot of people, even if you don't know the game that well, the setup of this episode with Ellie walking away from Joel and then immediately has like a cutback to her life with a character that you're not familiar with up until this point, I think most people can infer that Riley was going to die. So it was just a really well shot, really good episode. And I love the shot of her going back to Joel and Joel kind of being shocked, and the little tear of Joel crying in the beginning. I can't stand to see Joel cry. Seeing Joel get emotional and seeing the bond between Ellie and Joel gets me a little bit more than seeing the bond between Ellie and Riley, purely because I think I know that relationship is it's time-based. Like, we get a very, very short window into her relationship with Riley, whereas with Joel, we really are building that relationship and that bond, and it's just so good to see. But next episode, once again, a little bit concerned about, because the next episode is most likely going to be the bulk of the winter chapter, and to me, that is one of the most, if that is the most emotionally taxing part of the game, the first game. So interested to see what routes they're going to take, how they choose to develop and portray certain characters, and I'm just excited to jump into that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you join me again, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Bye now.